Hi, boys and girls. One of my favorite things to do at Christmas is to make some delicious um, treats that we can eat. And the one that I'm going to show you how to make today is very, very easy. And you can actually make it at other times. You don't have to just make it at Christmas, but it's kind of a Christmas tradition at my house for me to make this candy. So the recipe asks you to use some either rice Chex or corn Chex, and I have some corn Chex here. Um, Peanuts. We're going to use some pretzels, M&Ms, yum, and I'll show you the colors in a minute. And then right here in this bowl, I have some almond bark or bark coating, and we have something special to do with that. So let's get started. Before I set anything up, I washed my hands. And I just want you to know that. It's always important to do before you start making something in the kitchen. And then on my counter, which I washed and cleaned too, I put some wax paper. And you can see it just comes in a container like this. And I put a lot of it out. I don't know if we'll cover this whole thing or not, but it's important not to get things on the counter. So I have a lot of wax paper here. All right, now we can get started. The recipe says that I need 6 cups of the Corn Chex cereal, okay? And this measuring cup, while better for liquids, will work for us today to make this a little easier because on this, you can see that there are some numbers and some words. It says right here that if I fill the container to this point, I have 4 cups. So I'm just going to do that to make it a little easier today. We're going to use this for a lot of different things. So now I have almost 4 cups of rice, or excuse me, corn Chex. And then all I have to do is take them and kind of spread them out anywhere I want over the wax paper. Now it's said to have 6 cups. So now I'm going to use this kind of measuring cup. This is 1 cup. I have 4 cups, which means I need 2 more cups of the Corn Chex cereal. So I filled this to the top. I'm going to put this out, so that's 5. And now I just need 1 more to make 6. All right, there's my 6. And let me just spread it out here. Okay, the next thing I need would be my pretzels. And the recipe says that I need 5 cups of pretzels. And we already know that there are 4 cups in the glass container here. So let me just fill this and we'll get 4 cups. These are kind of hard to put in the other measuring cup. Look, they're falling all over the place, aren't they? They don't fit very well in this kind of a cup. All right, so I've got 4 cups here. I'm going to just sprinkle that all over my wax paper. And then I just need 1 more cup. And it's kind of hard to do this. So I'm just going to take 2 big handfuls. That's the beauty of this recipe. You don't have to be exact. And you kind of look at it and say, oh, that's pretty good. All right, so I'm going to put any extra pretzels that I have in here. And now look at that. Okay. Then the recipe says to put 1 large jar of peanuts. So this is a pretty large jar, don't you think? And I've already opened everything. So all I have to do with this is kind of sprinkle the peanuts on right out of the jar. Just kind of go back and forth. Oh my goodness. And you kind of put as many peanuts as you want. That's the beauty of this recipe too, is you can add or take away depending upon what you want to do. I think that looks pretty good. Lots of peanuts. In my family, we think we can't go wrong with peanuts. Now, some of you might have peanut allergies, so you wouldn't use peanuts. Okay, don't worry about that. You don't have to use peanuts. Then we get to put M&Ms in. And I'm going to take some M&Ms out. And can you tell what color M&Ms I have? Red and green. Why do you think I picked red and green? For Christmas. That's right. It says to use like a pound of M&Ms. What I'm going to do is just, I've got 2 packages here. I'm just going to move it all over. Okay. Well, you can't have enough M&Ms either, can you? That's another kind of rule in my house. All right, so now I have those things, and this is where my almond bark comes into play. I have to put this in the microwave now. What do you think is going to happen when I put the almond bark in the microwave? We'll find out. I'm going to put a bunch of these in here. You're supposed to use a package and a half of these chunks of almond bark. Now that's all I can fit in here. I'm going to put this in my microwave for probably about a minute. I want to watch it kind of closely here because it's kind of tricky. Okay, so when we're finished in the microwave, I'll bring it out and I'll show you what has happened to the almond bark, okay? All right, and again, this is kind of a fun candy because you can kind of do whatever you want. And you know what? As I said before, you don't have to measure things out. You can use your hands, but remember, you need to wash them first. Don't just put your hands in food until you've washed them, right? Very good. Okay, we've got about half a minute left to see what happens with our almond bark, okay? And then what you do with the almond bark is you sprinkle it all over the candy. And it's really very good. Now, is this the healthiest snack for you? Probably not, but it's Christmas time and it's okay to have just a little special treat as long as you don't eat all of it and as long as you don't eat every single day for a year, okay? All right, let's see what happened there. Oh my, guess what? Mrs. Becker's gonna go a little longer. It's just so full, it's hard to get the almond bark the way we need it. Oh. So what do you think is happening with that almond bark? That almond bark was a nice solid chunk, wasn't it? I wonder what's happening with it in the microwave. Ooh. All right, you know what? I'm going to take it out just a second. And I'm going to show you what's happening. Can you see what's happened? Is it all chunky anymore? Oh my goodness. I'm going to take my spatula and stir it around a little bit here. Oh my goodness. All right. Let me stir it some more. And then I'll show you what's happening. My camera, which is always tricky. You know how Mrs. Becker is with this. What's happened to it? Is it chunks anymore? No, it's melted, hasn't it? All right, I'm going to stir it some more to make sure all the other pieces get melted. Okay? You'll see the candy. All right, stir it some more. And I have to hold it very carefully with this hand, don't I? Stir. Scrape some off the side. Ooh, and now here's the fun part. Are you ready? I'm going to take the almond bark and I'm going to put it in the candy like this. I'm going to just go back and forth with it. Now, if you were doing this at home, you'd have to have mom or dad or somebody older help you with it. But I think you could do it with some help. And you certainly could put all the candy out, couldn't you? All right, you know what I'm going to do? Scrape some of this out. Come up with this. Much of it can. tricky. Okay, all right. And then I have a little more that I have to put in here, and I'm going to do the same thing. So now we know what happens with the almond bark. The chunks of almond bark when we put it in the microwave, they melt, don't they? All right, let me put it in here, and then we'll work on candy. Okay, so now I take the spatula and I mix it all around, and I'm holding the wax paper down so it doesn't accidentally come up and get it all over my counter. And that's another thing, you have to really overlap the wax paper. But you can stir it, you have to do it carefully because you don't want it flying all across your kitchen, do you? No. If you had pets, they would like that. They probably shouldn't eat this stuff, should they? You kind of stir it all together. Really get it coated with the almond bark. Oh, doesn't this look wonderful? My children, I have a son and a daughter, and I'm really making this for them because they're going to get together for Christmas this weekend, and then they can have some of this. All right, I heard my microwave stop there, so let me check the other almond bark, okay? See how it's doing. All right, try to get all of this in here. Okay, just a second. Well, let's see. Let me see. I might have to put this in. I'm going to put it in a little longer, okay? I have to challenge. And one thing is you don't want to go too long with the almond bark. So about a minute and a half with the almond bark is enough. But I always stop it at a minute just to make sure because I don't want to go too long because you know what happens? It burns. We don't want it burnt, do we? We want to be able to use it. Now, luckily, if I do burn it, I do have more almond bark that I could use. But why burn it? And you can just time it for about a minute and a half. Okay, I think I'm ready to try again. You almost have it all coated anyway. Ooh, it should be good. Okay, stir it just like I did before, okay? Ooh, oh, this is nice. I wouldn't want to go too much longer. Okay. Let me get this out here and then dump it on again. Kind of all around, especially on the edges where I don't have all of it coated. I'm going to have to use my spatula to get the rest out because there's always some that stays. I want every last bit of almond bark here. Almost done. Oh, I don't use any almond bark. This is bigger. Okay, I'm holding the wax paper down. I want to get some of this out here that doesn't have any on it. You want to try to get all the mix. Have some almond bark on it. And this from the edges in, although some of it has already been coated. There we go. Whoops, gotta hold that paper down. It's a little tricky. There we go. Oh. Spread it all around. Keep a few more pieces here. And I can just kind of flatten it out as best I can. Yes. Get all the almond bark out. Really mix it in the middle. It kind of sticks together because of the almond bark covering. Right. And now it's really done. And you can let it sit for a while. And the almond bark turns from being liquid to more of a solid again, and it coats the candy very, very nicely, and all the cereal, peanuts, and everything. So in the end, you have a treat that looks like this. Amazing. And it's an easy, easy thing for you to do with your mom and your dad and your family. And it tastes delicious. All right, boys and girls, thank you so much for watching me do my special treat for Christmas. And I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.